Today I want to speak about a special band from England, CRADLE or FILTH. This is one of the bands that or you hate them or you love them, okay? It's very difficult to be something in the middle with them. They are one of the most important bands that they brought and they continue to bring people inside the black metal and inside to the extreme metal in general. I know the elitists of black metal, of pure orthodox black metal, they will say to you, they are not black metal at all. Let's say that, okay, they are not Norwegian, pure original Norwegian orthodox black metal. They are not even Swedish black metal. They are not Greek black metal, but they are influenced by black metal. Also, they have many influences from Gothic, rock and metal. In some albums of them, we can listen also influences from thrash metal. Okay, they're a very special band, a provocative band. And this band is in the middle of the band is of course their main man and their frontman, Danny Filth, the leader of the band. One of the bands that you have one leader that he can change also the members of the band, something like Megadeth, something like Annihilator, or something like Death. That you have the leader, and you have in every album you can see changes inside the members. So we can also take the band and to speak about some periods of the band. We have the first period is the first album with the first EP. The second period of the band starts, the most classical period of the band starts with the second album, Dusk and Her Embrace, and continues until Midian. Afterwards, we have another period of the band that starts with Damnation in the Day. We have the downfall of the band that continues until the Manticore and the other horrors. And afterwards, we have the new period of the band, something like a renewal of the band that it started with the two last albums of them. It started with Hammer of the Witches and continues with Cryptorania, and let's see what they will go afterwards. So today I will try to make to run their albums from worst to best, in my opinion. And also I have to say in the beginning that I know that many people prefer Midian as their best album. For me, is one of the favorite albums, but not the best. And secondly, two other albums, Pornography and Nymphetamine, many people they hate them, but I like them a lot, because in these albums we can listen even more their thrash influences. So let's start. Until today they have 12 studio albums, and let's run them. In the last place, in the 12th place for me, comes the album Damnation and the Day of 2003. For me, this album comes in this place is the more because this album also came afterwards Midian, okay, and you can't make a comparison between these and the classic albums of the beginning of CRADLE FILTH. In the 11th place for me comes the album The Manticore and the Other Horrors of 2012. The downfall of CRADLE FILTH started more or less with this album, Damnation in the Day, and continues more or less until this album, The Manticore and the Other Horrors. I prefer it a little bit from Damnation in the Day, and this is also the only album of the band that they have 3 members play in this album. Now, in the 10th place, The album of 2010, Darkly Venus Aversa. And I know that the people that prefer this album and they like it, this album, and they thought that from here maybe they started a little bit to become themselves as in their first place, that they were in their first works. In the 9th place, for me, comes the album Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder. Okay, this is also the original cover of the album of 2008, and a good album also. And I prefer it a little bit more from Darkly Venus Aversa. Now, in the 8th place, the album Phonography of 2006, and yes, I know there are people that don't like this album, they hate this album, but I like it. I like it a lot, because also because of the thrash influences inside the album. These thrash influences that they started in reality in the album Nymphetamine, and in the 7th place, yes, comes this album Nymphetamine of 2004, also with very you can listen thrash metal influences very well. And yes, I like these two albums, and I know there are people and they hate Pornography and they hate Nymphetamine, but I like them, and I liked even more from Darkly Venus Aversa and from Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder. Now, in the 6th place, their last album until now of 2017, speaking about Cryptorania. They make a game of words between Victoriana and Cryptoriana, the seductiveness of decay, and this is also a very, very, very good album. Let's say that Cradle of Filth, they made something very special, because for many years, many people, they don't remember them. They were in a very big downfall, and in their last albums, they became what they were before. I like this album so much. This album is the album one before, and let's see if Cradle of Filth will continue in this good way. Now, in the 5th place, for me, comes the album Hammer of the Witches of 2015. And yes, this album was a very big comeback of the band in their classical sound. Something very, 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 very special, and continued this way with Cryptoriana. Now, in the 4th place, the album Midian of 2000. And I said at the beginning, yes, I know that many people that prefer this album in the first place to put it in the best, like the best album of them. In any case, this is a little bit more atmospheric from the first works of them, and for me, it comes in this place. And now, in the 3rd place, their second album, studio album, Dusk and Her Embrands of 1996. Also here we have Nicholas Baker as their drummer. A very special album with very gothic and vampiric influences inside it. And for many people, this is the album that put Cradle of Filth out from the underground to the mainstream. A very great album. Now, in the 2nd place, their first debut album, The Principle of Evil Made Flesh of 1994. And yes, this album is great. And Cradle of Filth in these years, they were even more underground. I have the album that came out from Cacophonous Records. Okay, a great album. Together with this, I will speak about one EP of them, their EP that came after the first album. the EP by the name Vampire of Dark Vampire Empire, how to say it, of Dark Fairy Tales in a Philistine of 1996. A great also EP. And for me, this was the first work that I listened from CRADLE FILTH and the first work that I listened from black metal in general. And now, in the first place, the album of 1998, and I'll speak about their third album, Cruelty and the Beast. For me, this is the masterpiece of FILTH. Until now, I like it even more from every other album of them. Classical grade of FILTH. So, from Jerusalem and from Israel, stay metal, stay heavy, and stay whole.